I think mainly just a writer-director is my main goal, and then I've discovered that I'm also interested in producing, but I try to write and direct more just because producing is so much harder, and I don't think that I can do as much as I want to, but writing and directing mainly is my main interest. It was inspired by personal events that took place in the last several years in my family, basically. So I took that as a jumping board to sort of create this film about family and just, you know, it's kind of typical as far as Asian families go, Chinese families, but it's also very specific because a lot of it draws from my relationship with my dad, with my grandmother, and his relationship with his mom. So it's really very, very personal, if not almost exactly the same. A lot of the events that took place, actually both me and Jessica and Jim had experiences as far as the funeral goes, the, you know, dealing with a person's family member's death or a close friend's death. I remember that both Jessica and Jim were telling me about how they both just went through somebody very close to them dying, you know, before we made the film. So that really made everything very, very just, you almost are creating your experience on film. So
I tried to listen to a lot of Tiffany's stories because I think it's still, at the end of the day, it's still her story about her relationship with her dad. So I definitely took that into account mostly. But of course, you know, my dad, he's amazing. They met him. We all took a picture together. He's lovable. He can be very stubborn, and I think that's what I drew on the most. Like, he definitely gets into a rut, and he'll be like, well, no, this is what I think right now. Everything's really black and white, and you know. And so I took that in because, you know, Jim brought that so well. But I think my dad is definitely not quite as harsh about my artistic endeavors. He's been actually really supportive in his, like, cute, dorky dad way. But there are lines in there where my mom watched the film and she goes, "Oh, that sounds just like your dad."
Well, I'm just drawing on my personal experience that is, in a way, is true. You know, this is the last generation of the Chinese men. They have a lot of them. They have talent, and yet they cannot fully express. So there's always this conflict. They want to go along, they want to embrace the Western value. At the same time, wait, you know, there's the Eastern value. So a little bit of that. Probably that's what you mean by that conflict.
I think, well, I just hope that they took away from it as being just a real simple story about a daughter and a father, and how, you know, being a part of a family, there's a lot of responsibilities, but if you find a way to sort of balance everything in your life, you can have the best of all sides, which is to have the ability to be yourself and then also share a relationship with your family members. I think that's what I hope that my audiences can watch the film and take away from it. I hope, yeah.
I think